Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and eero is something I've been using for a little over 6 months, and they were nice enough to send me the latest eero. This is their Gen 2 eero. I haven't opened this yet, so let's take a look at what we've got. And their Gen 2 eero is supposed to provide better connectivity and faster speed. So let's take a look. So we'll open this up here and see what we've got. And this is eero's new Wi-Fi or home Wi-Fi system. Now these come in at about $400, but it's a wireless mesh network, and I've been using them for about 6 months, like I said, and they've performed flawlessly. And this is their latest generation. Now this is good for 3 to 4 rooms, and what it includes is eero and 2 eero beacons. So let's open it up and see what we've got. So inside you'll see we've got the eero and the 2 beacons, just like on the outside. See what we've got here. It says first things first, download the app. I've already got the app. And then we've got a power plug, but this time we just have one because we have one simple eero beacon, or eero, and then 2 eero beacons. So what we have here is, this is basically your Wi-Fi router or access point that connects to your home modem or whatever you have. Now you've got these 2 eero beacons that go along with it. And again, this says download the app, and here we have an Ethernet cable so we can connect to our router or whatever we have already, or modem that we have at home. So I'll set this back, and this is what's new. These are the eero beacons. Now these don't have an Ethernet jack or anything, and what you've got is basically 2 plugs. It provides a night light as well, and then you've got a simple button on this side, and that seems to be it. So we've got 2 of those, and what they do is simply create a mesh network. So instead of running connections to each one of these on the back, my current network, I have 3 of these, and it's connected through Ethernet directly, but you can also use it wirelessly. These work completely wirelessly and broadcast around your house. Now they've increased the speed, they've made it better, and it should work more simply than it already does. Now there is a few differences with this particular one. What we have here is, aside just from these beacons, what we have is the ability to add eero Plus, and that's a home protection suite that allows you to do things like create kids networks or protect your internet with firewalls. It has automatic software updates, one-time password, suspicious device blocking, anti-malware, anti-phishing, anti-ransomware, antivirus, all built in, and it's a monthly fee. But let's take a look at the setup process, and then we'll go from there. This is my utility closet in my house, and this is where everything comes in. So I'm going to connect via USB-C, that's how you power it, and then you use the Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable into the back, and it's powered on, and the blue light flashing lets you know that it's ready to be found. So you'll see it's plugged in. It's just another view of it, and ideally you want to put this central in your house. Now there's 2 beacons as well. One I placed at the end of my hallway, and you'll see that here. It's just plugged in. Each one plugs into an outlet, and again the light is blinking. And then the other one is at the top of my stairwell, and again it's centrally located and ready to go. Now the eero is set up where I want them to be. Let's go ahead and go into the app. Now I deleted my previous network, and we're going to set up a new one. So we'll hit get started, and since I've already had this logged in before, I just created an account and logged in. So we'll hit get started. It's just going to tell you what to do, connecting it to your modem. I've done all of this already, so we're just going to go through that. It says waking up your eero, so we're waiting for that. And it's looking. It's going to take a moment, and it found it. So we'll wait for it to go to the next step. So it says, where's your eero? In this case, it's in my living room. I'll create a network name. I'll set up a password. I hit create network, and now it's setting up my network. It does it all by itself. You don't have to configure anything, although you can if you want to. It set up my network. It says, boom, your network has been created. We'll hit next. And then it says add another eero device. Well, since I have beacons, we need to add those. So we'll add a beacon, and it says help us understand your home. So my home is it's more square. It's 2 floors. So it wants to know what that is. We'll hit next. And they're fairly central to begin with, so that's good. We'll hit next. or we'll hit skip. I've got them where I want, and it says nightlight for eero. When enabled, your nightlight will automatically turn on or off depending on the brightness of your room. So I appreciate that in my hallways. So I plug them in, and it's waking up the beacons. I have 2 of them now. It found one, so let's click Run Placement Test. It says I placed it like a pro. Now let's set its location. And we'll say end of hallway. So we'll say custom end of hallway. Hit next. Setting up my eero beacon. Great. I have one more to set up. So let me edit the nightlight settings. And ambient scheduled or off. We'll have it adjust by itself, and then we'll hit next. Set up the last eero beacon. It found that it already had 2 of them, so we'll hit next. It's waking up the other beacon. And again, it liked where I placed that, so we'll hit next. And this one is at the top of the stairs, so we'll change it to that. And we'll hit next. It's setting that up, and everything should be good to go in just a moment here. I don't have any other devices right now, so we'll say no, I'm all set. And then it says it's got automatic software updates, manage screen time, or pause the internet. eero's True Mesh optimizes for your home, and I'm familiar with all of those things. So now it lays out my network for me. It says an update's available. It's running a speed test down here at the bottom, and we'll run an update in a moment, but let me show you some of the other features. So if I tap on this, you'll see that I have different things. I can do family profiles. So if I want to create a profile based on the device, I can do that for individuals and set schedules or deadlines for when someone is actually using the network and I want to pause it. I can also go back and adjust my network settings. So under network settings, I just have some generic IPs here, but it shows us more advanced settings down here. And internet connection, DNS, DHCP and NAT, reservations, port forwarding. So you have all of this ability built in here if you want to change things. If you want to set up port forwarding or UPnP, you want to turn that on or off, or set the DNS to something else, maybe like Google's DNS. So you have those abilities. If I go back, you'll see I can add more. I can set up guest access if I want. There's my account settings, or I can even have 2 networks and I can switch between them. So it's a really nice comprehensive setup, and you'll see right now that my download and upload speeds, I have gigabit Ethernet right now, so normally it's 1,000 by 1,000, but that's pretty good. So we'll hit update now and let that run, and it says it'll take up to 15 minutes in update, and then it should be good to go. Everything is back up and running, and I had to actually reboot the main device once when it wasn't connecting properly, but then everything worked okay. You can see there's my connection speed right now. I can test this at any time, just hit run speed test and it will test. And that's about it. There's not much more to it. It's that simple. Now, one thing you can do within the app that I find I do sometimes is to see what's connected to what. So if I hit living room, go into the device, you can see that it's wired. It's in my living room. The LED light is on. I can turn that off. And there's also details as well. Under details, though, is things like the MAC address and all that information. So it's not anything I need to show here, but you have all of that information available to each one of these. You can also go into each device to see what it's doing. So if you go into the device, you can see how it's connected, which eero it's connected to, what it is, and it's a really great way of doing things. So the other thing here is you've got 3 connected devices, and it shows all the devices and their signal strengths, and it just works just like you'd expect, very simply. Now there's also additional network safety with eero Plus. With eero Plus, you can start a 30-day free trial, and it has home security, like I mentioned before, kid safe network, and all of these different things. So it's just an advantage. If you want to have those features, you can add them. Otherwise, it's just seamlessly working in the background for you. Now that we're connected through Wi-Fi to the network, let's see what kind of speeds we can get if we go to speed test. Now, keep in mind, Wi-Fi cannot do gigabit speeds. It could go to about 500 megabits per second. So let's see what we get. Closer to 400, 450, really. But let's see what we can get. I'm not getting my full speed on my internet right now either for gigabit, but this should be pretty good. Can't really complain too much about that. And it's pegging it that way. So that's pretty good. Just walking around the house, and coverage is great all throughout my house right now. So that's eero. I'll be using this one from now on for a while just to see what it's like. And let me know if you'd like to see a follow-up video. Now, keep in mind, this is not a sponsored video. They didn't pay for me to make this video. I liked their products, and they contacted me about this new generation and wanted to see what I thought. And they were also nice enough to offer anyone watching this video or who would like to use the code a free overnight shipping code, and that's Zollotech. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I'll also leave the code there. Just use Zollotech, and you'll get free overnight shipping if you order one of these. So let me know what you think about eero in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.